Now, Russia continues to mount offensive in eastern Ukraine as the battle for the Donbas region intensifies. Moscow has shelled over 40 towns of the region. The war-torn nation is now fighting to save its separatist-claimed twin cities, Luhansk and Donetsk, where the Russian forces, they've already taken control of 3 towns. Ukraine claims that Moscow has threatened to shut the last main escape route for civilians trapped in the path of its invasion. The drone shots right now on your screens show the aftermath of the Russian missile attacks in the region. The shelling has destroyed a train facility, which was a hub for supplies and evacuations from Donetsk. The visuals show a large crater on a railway line along with missile wreckage at the site. Russia has poured thousands of troops into the region in an attempt to encircle Ukrainian forces holding out in the city of Severodonetsk and its twin Lysychansk, which is the easternmost part of Ukrainian-held Donbas pocket here. The police in Lysychansk city are collecting bodies of the people killed in shelling to bury them in mass graves.
Збройні сили України, наша розвідка і усі, хто захищає державу, протистоять надзвичайно жорсткому наступу російських військ на Сході. Подекуди ворог сильно переважає технікою, кількістю солдатів. Російська влада ухвалила показове рішення. Вони дозволили брати на контрактну службу людей старшого віку. Тобто молодих їм вже не вистачає, але бажання воювати все ж таки зберігається.
Now, earlier this week, the Russian-backed Donetsk People's Republic claimed that its forces took control of the town, replaced the Ukrainian flag with the Russian flag. Russian assault in the eastern region comes after the Kremlin failed to seize Ukrainian capital Kiev and the country's second-largest city of Kharkiv. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky had already warned against Moscow's bid to destroy the industrial Donbas region. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a decree simplifying the process of acquiring Russian citizenship and passports for residents of Ukraine's Russian-occupied Kherson and Zaporizhzhia regions. The decree marks a further step towards a Russification of the two regions. Putin's move extends a scheme available to residents of Donetsk and Luhansk regions, where Moscow has issued around 800,000 passports since 2019. Russia claimed full control of the Kherson region in mid-March, holds part of Zaporizhzhia region to the northeast as well. Russian media claims that President Putin also visited a Moscow military hospital to speak with soldiers wounded in the war. Putin was accompanied by the country's defense minister. The Russian president shook hands of the injured soldiers and thanked them for their service. Now, for more on this, joining us live from Riga in Latvia is our correspondent Chris Jones. Chris, thank you for joining us. My first question to you: Moscow has shelled over 40 towns of the region, like I just mentioned here. What can you tell us about the developments so far?
Yeah, well, Russia has very much continued its bombardment of the Donbas region, and it's still trying to encircle the city of Severodonetsk, a key industrial city in that area. The latest we've heard from the Ukrainian military is that around 40 towns in that region of Lugansk and Donetsk have been targeted by Russian artillery. It says that 47 civilian sites, including 38 homes and a school, have been targeted, and as a result 5 civilians have been killed and around about 12 have been wounded. If this is true, it really does play into that description of Russia using a scorched earth approach to take the east by using artillery and air fire to make this area as dangerous as possible. And the mayor of the Lugansk region, Sergei Gadai, said that the situation is so dangerous that he's basically told civilians not to try and evacuate, but to find shelter instead. Many have been trapped underground in basements and in bomb shelters, hiding since the war really broke out. And Russia has been making small gains in the Donbas, but all this has come at a price. We've already heard that Russia has potentially
Right.
lost the same or a number in the same area as the number that the Soviet Union lost in that 9 years war with Afghanistan. Now what we're hearing is that the UK's Ministry of Defence says that Russia's airborne forces, a largely professional force, has taken heavy losses as well because of key strategic failures at the Hostomel airport in Kyiv in March, and also the stalled progress in Izium in April. And all of this has really been brought about by poor management and tactics. We've heard from analysts and experts who have basically said that if Russia were to be effective moving forward in the east, they would need to resupply and redeploy after taking Mariupol. But commanders have very much wanted to show the Kremlin that they can take key military objectives, and that's why we've seen further advancement in the east at the moment.
All right. Right, Chris. Now, also, Russian president, like I mentioned, has signed a decree simplifying the process of acquiring Russian citizenship and passports. Now, what I'm trying to understand here is the implications of this.
Yeah, well, a large part of Ukrainian culture is based in Russian, of course, being a former Soviet Union state. Vladimir Putin is largely doing this, it seems, as a political move to try and take as many Ukrainians away from Ukraine and towards Russia. But really, another political movement that we've seen here that is a massive part of this war and a massive part of what's going on right now is this war of attrition that's really being built around the Black Sea. Now, Russia has basically stopped food exports from getting out of the Black Sea and to much of the world. The UN says that much of the world relies on grain and wheat from Ukraine to live, and if that grain doesn't get out, then plenty will starve. The Deputy Foreign Minister, Andrei Rudenko, has put an offer on the table, a compromise almost, saying that if you lift economic sanctions, we'll allow this grain out. And so all of this, you know, the passports and the holding of food, it's all part of a political but also strategic move to maneuver Ukraine into some kind of compromise to come up with a deal to potentially end this war.
Right. All right, Chris, thank you so much for joining us with all the updates on this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.